I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future.
Hello, everyone who's watching this interview as I clip from his Michael Pax with the interviewer Eric C. Lloyd. Eric Lloyd, as he's normally called. So, hello.
I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for coming on the show. So when did you get started with VTubing?
I'm pretty sure literally I think February 2024. I think I have to go check my YouTube channel because that's what I used to stream before changing to Twix.
Yeah. So it was about 3 years ago, maybe a little over 3 years ago.
No, Wait, it's 2025 now.
Yeah.
I said 2024.
Oh. So, a little while back anyway. What got you?
Yeah, like a year.
What got you interested in it?
Mainly summer of 2020, I want to say. Yeah, I got recommended Crony playing Doom 64, and I decided to check that out.
Yeah. And did that kind of inspire you?
And well, for VTubing, yeah, but streaming in general, I was inspired by Vine Sauce.
Wow. Okay.
From 2014, because that's when I became a fan of Vine Sauce.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm talking too fast.
No, it's just fine. Yeah, so, did you were you able to jump in right away and get comfortable very quickly, or did it take a little while for you?
Playing games on stream was easy for me because I have done that in private Discord servers before.
Mm-hmm.
But the audio issues I had early on was something I had to overcome.
Yeah. It can really be a pain in the rear end when you're trying to
get.
It's still
my volume was always.
Yeah.
My mic volume was always too quiet.
Yeah, and sometimes you know when I first started doing these interviews, getting on here, I was having trouble with audio settings, and would really drive me crazy because when I did radio for 35 years, I never had a problem with that. So I'm trying to figure out with this equipment of mine what I was doing wrong. It took a while, but I think we got it pretty much settled up. Sooner or later, you find it work.
Do you think those skills will transfer over, right?
Yeah, I mean, see, if I turn this button down where it says volume, it's supposed to work. Well, no, it doesn't. Okay. Let's try something else on the screen. Eventually we got it figured out. So, was talking with having somebody there with you as chat, was that natural for you, or did it take a little while to get used to?
Well, I don't really get a lot of chats, to be honest, but I am able to respond to them really quickly from the start.
You're able to keep that.
Try to.
Yeah, you get that going while you're on with the game as well, pretty easy.
For the most part, yes. Unless I'm really focused on something, then I can't.
Yeah, that's pretty tough to do. What type of games are you normally playing when you're online?
Normally I play old retro games and FPS games for the most part because that's kind of what I normally play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the game you're in the moment?
One of the games I'm currently streaming on Twix is Half-Life 2. Just got done with a stream of it yesterday. I'm not done with the game yet. I'm at Nova Prospect.
Yeah. Yeah, is that a game you've been able to keep going for quite a while on stream?
I like Half-Life, so yeah, it's kind of easy to do that with games you really enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, would you rather choose a game to stream that you enjoy more, or maybe you'd think that somebody would enjoy watching you play? Because there is a difference.
Yeah, I like playing games that I actually enjoy, and besides over streams over games that people will enjoy, like watching streams of.
Yeah, it's easier to come up with something, and as long as you're enjoying it and you sound like you're enjoying it, then the audience will go along with you, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I believe that 100%.
Yeah. So while you were watching streamers before, did you kind of pick up on some of the things that they were doing and think that I could do this on my own?
Uh, Pretty much. I've been watching instruments for like basically 10 years now. So,
Yeah,
or like 10 or so years now.
yeah. Would you it was
Yeah.
it as did you stream without the avatar at first, or did you pick it up?
No. When I started properly streaming, I did have the avatar of using Revoid Studio to make it.
Yeah.
But I did do like some streams like when I was like, I don't know, like 15 on Twitch. Like, but like those are like lost to time now. So officially speaking, I always had the avatar.
Well, I mean, we could probably try to find it on Lost Video or something.
No, I believe those bots are literally milked out of existence.
You've nuked them from existence.
No,
You
no,
can't.
no. Twix like deletes bots from tends to delete bots from like non-partner, non-affiliated channels after a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
those
why I have them all archived on YouTube.
so folks, you're not going to be able to bring up some early stuff.
I mean, I don't think anyone knew about that before this interview. To be honest,
now everybody's going to be searching. So what was your first impressions when you started getting folks in and were there to watch you play the games and be on? You were an official VTuber. What was your thoughts then?
I thought I felt very cool. To be honest, I enjoy having people speak to me while I'm playing video games, and that's why like, when the main appeal to streaming to me is is just having people to talk to while I'm playing games.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's it's kind of like having somebody there with you, but you don't have to give them anything to eat.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
It's do you like to have them? Would you like to have a situation where they're playing along with you in the game, or would you rather just have them watching for now?
Uh, for now, it's just watching because I don't really have a big enough audience, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
to make a community like nights possible. So yeah,
Yeah, it's that's your goal is to have as big an audience as possible.
uh, well, not as big as possible because that would be impossible to read. But at least like 20 to like 10 to like 20 viewers per stream, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah, well,
kind of
active viewers
have
because people will drop in, and drop out like all the time.
yeah have a cast of regular folks come in though, and kind of
Yeah,
sit that. It's
I have like a few regulars, like around 2 or 3, so
yeah, that's pretty cool.
that's nice.
Yeah, it's
When I'm with my friends, so
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you record your streams and watch them back later?
I don't really watch them back, but I do like download the VOD after I'm done to
Yeah.
just shop out to just to cut out the VIBs, the just starting screen, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about all much as viewing as I do. Also, I just like to make sure there's no like unexpected loud noises in the stream. So in case there is an unexpected loud noise or something like that, I just put a warning at the very ending.
Yeah. Sometimes the editing can be awfully difficult for that if you're trying to find the right spot to take out. Do you do a lot of editing on those VODs?
To be honest, not really. I am pretty actually quick with it. I just mainly remember the exact moment I want to cut out and stuff, and I'm able to get that pretty easily.
That's good because when I first started doing video editing in college back in the '80s, it was a lot different. We were actually yeah, that was a long time ago.
I don't imagine video editing back in the 80s was very easy.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't. We actually used the videotape. They were 1-inch videotape, and we.
Yeah, I do not want to be cutting videotapes themselves.
No.
To do all that stuff.
Oh, that was.
I think VXS is like cool, but I do not want to do like old school editing like that.
Oh no, it was really tough to do correctly, and if you messed up, you really messed up. You you have to get the tape in the right spot, and it has to run through after you do the taping, uh, and same thing with audio editing.
Yeah.
We used a little razor blade and a special tape to put it together. It would take forever to do. And nowadays you just look on your computer screen and see where the bump is where you coughed, and you can edit it right out.
Thank God for technology and the advancing
Oh yeah,
and all that.
it got to the point after several years of doing it in radio that I could pretty much just look at the screen, look at the readout, and see where somebody went and edit it out without having to listen to it.
I was at ability when recording whenever I have to record, actual me scripted segments, guys, do a lot of those filler words a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do some because I'm always trying to find the right word for a certain situation.
Oh, definitely 100%. I know that feeling.
Yeah,
I feel like that feeling is very universal.
Yeah, it was the problem with the great thing about what I'm doing now with this is that I have it on recording where I could really edit it out if I wanted it to, but I usually don't edit my stuff out. But if you're live on the radio or live streaming, you don't get a chance to do the editing. You have to just kind of flow with what happens and hope that that nobody catches you on it.
100%. Yeah.
Have there been any situations where you caught yourself kind of in a situation where you didn't know what to do on the stream?
A few times, but not too much.
Mm. And what do you do at that point? You just kind of punt and start hitting buttons?
I normally try to change game topic normally to something else that I can pivot to and hope for the best.
Yeah,
that has not always worked out though.
Yeah, I can imagine. Unfortunately, it does.
Yeah.
It can get pretty sticky at times with that sort of thing. You end up with
100%.
You end up throwing yourself in an even worse situation, which it is a lot tougher to get out. You have to keep a cool head for the most part, and sometimes the situation doesn't call for a cool head.
Yeah,
it gets pretty rough at times. What has been your favorite part of streaming so far?
Honestly, having an avatar, not gonna lie, having an avatar, not gonna lie, and being able to just having hour to play games uninterrupted and all that.
Yeah, and what about the interacting with people in chat? Is that a big
that's also
for you?
That's also great too. But I pretty sure I already talked about that earlier, so I didn't really feel the need to bring it up.
Yeah. There's a lot of positives to this, and some people use it as a way to kind of work on something that maybe they're a little rough around the edges socially in life off a screen. Have you found that you're a little better in social situations now that you've started VTubing?
I don't know actually, because I don't really go out all that often.
Mm-hmm.
Because I I stay at home most of the time. So,
well, is it easier for you when you do see folks to start up a conversation now?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Stay away.
That's how I've been for that's how I've been for literally 21 years of my life. So, not 21, 22, but you get it.
Yeah. Is it easy? Is it easier for you just to interact with the folks if you don't have to see them?
Well, I guess that's a part of it. I don't want to say that's 100% of it.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it being online makes it a lot easier to connect with people. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's easier to find people with like-minded interests and stuff.
That's true. You do get kind of sift out your audience a little bit.
Yeah.
Just kind of automatically.
In the real world, you just gotta you just gotta hope for the best when talking to other people like going to like areas
Yeah,
or areas of interest and
yeah.
stuff.
So what about folks from other countries? Do you get some folks from other countries come on your
Uh,
streams?
one of my mods and one of my friends is from the Philippines.
Oh yeah, there's a big VTuber community in the Philippines. They really do enjoy it over there.
Yeah, that's
Talk to a
pretty
lot
cool.
of people from over there. It's a um, very talented group of folks from over there too.
Yeah, that
they do a lot of things that are amazing. I'm glad we get a chance to hear so many talents come up
yeah
in this community. Um,
yeah.
yeah. So the time zone thing doesn't bother you at all with as far as that goes.
I stream at night mostly, so people who like just got off of work can tune in, and people from other countries can easily tune in too.
Ah,
Hopefully,
there you go. Yeah, that does help out a lot. If your own schedule is strange, then it doesn't look so strange when folks from other
well,
countries
to be
show
fair,
up.
it's not like I'm not streaming at like 9 p.m. I'm streaming at like 7 p.m. So
Yeah,
my time.
yeah. I work in the evenings usually, and I end up doing if I'm interviewing somebody in Europe. I'm in the central time zone in the U.S., so they're about 5 6 hours ahead of me. I'll do that at noon my time before I go to work, and that's usually about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening for them. And if there's somebody in Asia, the Pacific, or Australia, I'll do it at midnight, and it'll be in about 15 hours ahead of me there. So it'll be in the afternoon for them, and I'm just get home at midnight. I'm
Damn.
kind of get lucky that way as far as it's concerned. But the folks in the middle, now we're talking talking a little different story.
It's really easy to like set things up where people within like within like the in the country in West country and the countries around it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great to be able to get the culture um, in when you're talking to folks and interacting with folks from the other countries. Much easier now
Yeah,
that it makes the world so much smaller.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you had a chance to do something on your stream that you haven't done yet, what would it be?
Let's see. I haven't done an art stream yet because I do not have a drawing tablet. I mainly draw on my phone.
Uh
Well, I do have a drawing tablet. It's just at the previous house I was living in.
huh. Yeah. And that'd be the one thing you'd be wanting to do first off.
Yeah, as soon as I get that back, we'll get a new drawing tablet. One of those two things.
Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. What about a different? Would you like to do um, you know, just a straight up talking stream or
Yeah, but I want to wait until I get like VR equipment and stuff
mm,
to do that because I
yeah,
like doing it. I would like to do it in VR set, so it's just using my model of 3C face.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if I could deal with VR or not for any period of time. I get dizzy sometimes just sitting in this chair.
I I guess it's just a thing that happens when you get older. I guess.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, thank you for that.
I'm sorry. That's kind of how I kind of how I talk and stuff. Uh,
Yes, I do. I know how old I am. Thank you very much.
I'm not saying do this to or anything like that.
No, it's believe me, I embrace every year I've been able to enjoy on this planet. It's
Yeah,
mine. It's mine, and no one else can have them. Uh,
yeah.
the the but that's just it too. Nobody my age really knows what I'm doing here, interviewing folks in the VTubing community. Do you
I
see?
guess you guys like. Wait,
Yeah,
you were saying?
yeah. Do you see maybe some of the more older community folks showing up and the audience getting a little bit older?
Uh, Maybe. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we're seeing. I think that overall we're seeing just a little bit more of a higher average age of VTubers, and with that is coming because I think the audience still hasn't all shown up yet. There's
Yeah,
there's still millions of people that would enjoy watching VTubers that don't even know it's there. Um, and so many millions have access that sooner or later they're going to find out, and either the sandbox will get bigger and better, or they'll mess it up.
yeah.
What would you like to see as far as an innovation for VTubers goes? Would you what would make it easier for you to stream?
I I guess cheaper, but better like computer specs or something like that. I don't know, because that makes streaming and VTubing easier.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah, because that stuff is kind of expensive and stuff.
oh well, yeah, it is. It is when you get to that type of thing, expensive. I just think we're going to see more and more people doing some innovative work and making things
Oh yeah, definitely
easier.
with the creative side of stuff.
Yeah, I think people are going to start making things easier. Maybe in the models themselves, how they work and how people can use them. That might be one of the first things that gets easier. The audio quality seems to be pretty good for most folks. Um,
I mean, like good audio equipment has existed for like how long now,
oh
and like tracking technology has only been like really good since like I want to say the late 80s maybe.
yeah, maybe even later than that. But yeah, you could get really good
Yeah,
audio quality
like
back in the '70s if you
but like
had the right equipment.
with like things that we see as modern, like there's always like some like strange thing that someone was doing like 10 years before, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Or somebody was experimenting with it anyway. But yeah, the even
Yeah.
when I was young and I bought all the record albums I possibly could when I was younger, they were um, with the old vinyl discs. They were still experimenting with that when the CDs came out, as far as making the sound
I
quality as
don't
good as possible.
honestly I don't think vinyl ever like actually died off. It just got, it was in the background for a little bit, then got like popular again.
Yeah, yeah. People realize that there's just something about the frequency range of those records that you can't really capture with a digital recording. Um, and
Yeah.
and that was one of the things too when the CDs first came out. I'm old. I remember all this stuff. Um, the the first CDs were people didn't like them a lot of the time because you could hear every edit. They were too good. Um,
Hmm.
if something was recorded analog, that means you had those tapes and clips and things that were in the actual tape. And if you recorded it onto a album, those clicks and pops weren't there. But if you recorded it straight up to digital, then you heard everything. And
Yeah, yeah.
some of those, so sometimes you'd hear a click right in the middle of a song you didn't, like the old Beatles albums, like a Sergeant Pepper's or something. You'd hear all the clicks. It can be not exactly what you wanted out of it. So, but the deep the deep sound of those early records that does make a big difference. And I don't know, maybe they'll be able to adapt something like that um, to a VTuber audio, make it a little more
Maybe.
make add a little more depth to it because um, all of us who are online are kind of restricted as to we could have the best microphones in the world, but if the internet isn't good, it's not going to sound that good.
Yeah.
Folks used to get really nice, expensive telephones when they were all landlines and with the great speakers and microphones, but it still sounded like you were yelling into a tin can on the other end because you're going through a wire. you weren't you weren't.
Yeah, like it was like, sometimes like it was like several like miles away, like to like another state away or something like that you're
Oh,
calling.
oh yeah, and I've been able to talk with the folks around the world on these interviews. When I first started in radio, it was 1983, and if I were to talk to somebody in, say, Singapore, like I did a couple days ago, it would have cost $1 million over the phone. because calling 10 miles away cost extra money back then. And they would have gone through so many manual operators plugging things in, click, 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 click across the water, click, 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 and
Yeah,
then it would
yeah.
have the quality would have just been terrible. It would have been just so bad. And now I can just go into this room, pick up a microphone, and start talking. It's such a crazy thing. Do you ever sit every once in a while and while you're doing the streams realize that you are basically transmitting all over the planet?
Uh, I'm not constantly thinking about it, but I definitely know about that in the back of my head, 100%.
Yeah, it's you there. Your signal is out there and just waiting for someone to tune in. Um,
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing to think that somebody's standing upside down on the other side of the world, maybe responding to you.
yeah, basically.
So when you were younger, did you ever think you'd get up in front and kind of be an entertainer, whether it was on stage or in the
I
internet or anything like that?
it actually, yeah, pretty much
Mm-hmm.
in like some type of form, either through like creative work or like streaming or like playing video games for people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought about becoming that when
Mm-hmm.
I was young, when I had access to the internet and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah. What were some of the folks you were watching back then?
Okay, I was maybe watching like Lex Players, like Sega Conway, and like that's the only one that comes to my mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but like I asked other people, but like that's the only one that's coming to my mind pre like 2014.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching a few of those myself back then, and then um, once the VTubing thing came up, it was such a different experience. Uh, and you were kind of introduced to it for some folks from Hololive Live right away. Um, what really attracted you to their style of streaming?
Uh, to be to be fair, it just seems like I don't know how to really describe it. It just felt like a bunch like it's like a big new thing that that had something that I was always interested in with anime and bullshit like that. Anime
Mm-hmm.
and other Japanese bullshit like that. It's like what, cool. I'll check these out. These girls are funny and all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And did was it watching one person leading to finding all sorts of others?
Uh, Pretty much.
Well, let's see what this does. Let's see what this one does. Let's see what this does. Um, and did you build up a kind of a regular group of folks that you would watch every week?
Well, I don't really watch the live streams to be honest, because I don't have the time to watch big VTuber live streams.
Right.
But I mainly watch clips for the compilations.
Yeah. Yeah. The recaps are always good if you don't have a whole lot of time to do it. But um,
Yeah,
yes.
especially if they speak a language that you cannot speak yet,
Oh
like
yeah.
Japanese, for example.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned yet. Are you trying to learn?
Uh, hopefully when I get into college, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds like a really really rough language to be able to read and write and speak. Um, because of the different
Yeah,
I can't wrap my head around the writing style. Um, I might be able to do it with the talking style, but uh, there's just a whole lot of different. It's such a different animal language wise that it's tough for me to pick up the patterns.
yeah. I feel like that's what's like with most people learning foreign language. That it's easier to speak it than to write it with most of them.
Hmm. Now Spanish I can understand just a little bit. Um,
I mean, to be fair, they use the same alphabet as we do, so
yeah, yeah, and
well, basically the same alphabet.
yeah, and I did watch Sesame Street when I was a kid,
I
so
feel like
there.
80% of the population in the United States has.
Yeah, yeah, but I really wish that I would have stuck with either learning a language when I was younger, or either Spanish or French, one of the two, or both, um, because sometimes it's really tough to teach an old dog new tricks when it comes to that sort of thing. Uh, and if I had learned it when I was 20, then I'd I'd really know how to do it now, or I'd forgotten everything else at the time. But um, are there any other languages you'd like to try and learn?
Let's see. Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, Ukrainian, Korean, Mandarin, Cantonese, maybe.
Mm,
Eh, those are like seven off the top of my head.
wow.
I want
See,
to learn a lot of languages. Be a
wow.
polyglot.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I would love to learn a few languages, and I tried to learn Morse code and I couldn't learn Morse code.
Damn.
Speaking of languages, that's a little bit different, but still it's it's very tough to do. Will you concentrate more on conversation or reading with these languages?
Probably. Realistically speaking, probably reading because that's probably what I'm going to do more of.
Yeah, yeah. I think I would be better with the conversation part. The, some of the languages in Asia, they put down a couple of different signs or different symbols, and to me they look exactly the same, but they're obviously different to somebody else. I
I never I never personally had that issue, to be honest. I could very easily tell the differences between Asian languages and Canadians.
yeah,
Not knowing what they mean, but I can easily tell the differences.
yeah, and I'd have to learning the syntax and the grammar, and that's just so different. I know that Spanish has different things for different verbs and things for men and women. English doesn't have that sort of thing.
Yeah,
The French have their own different ways of doing it, and then you have to learn. Like Canadian French isn't going to be the same as Paris French. Yeah, and you mentioned a couple of different Chinese languages. They're going to be different too. There's
yeah,
so many different versions of that.
100%.
Yeah, it's tough to choose. Um, so how proficient would you want to be in those? Do you just to where you can
Uh,
understand what's being read, or do you want to be able to speak it, or what?
okay, I want to be able to speak it. Well, basically, I want to be able to, understand like the entertainment
Mm,
and created by people who speak those languages and stuff.
yeah,
Basically, to
yeah,
put it simply,
yeah. It
if,
is.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, you can get translations, but it kind of loses a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, because as it's being filtered for like one person or like a different group of people like filtering it,
Yeah,
and that's like it. That's why it might be really good. It might or have like a lot of differences that not 100%. Like no translation is perfect. Like you can just get really really good.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So let's get back to the streaming things side of things. Um, so you are enjoying playing these games online. Is there a game that you haven't played yet that you have, but you would like to play it online?
Uh, Instead of Sandstorm or most other like more modern tactical games
Yeah.
because I'm kind of afraid of playing it and it lagging like on my end a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's always something that people have to deal with.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that I don't think I can play that game while streaming or like squad or like OM3
yeah,
or replays it.
it just it uses up too much stuff on the computer one way or the other. I've the
Yeah, that's why I mainly stick to old ass games.
Yeah. I mean, I was using for a lot of gaming an old. It's now old. It wasn't old when we got it. A laptop, and I got it up to Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout 4 is just not happening on that computer.
I Yeah, that kind of was that's kind of what I had to go through like for a while from like 2016 to like 2021 or
Uh-huh.
whatever I got my laptop that I'm using now.
Yeah, yeah, and I found out that my laptop basically doesn't have a sound card or something like that, or graphics card. Like, oh well, that's not going to work at all, is it?
I I feel like you would very much know if this laptop doesn't have a sound quality
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah. It's fairly old. Considering we bought it for work a long time ago, and I think I used it one time for work. I just kept it at home.
Yeah, kind of strange how like I feel like most people do not use like computers for work anymore nowadays.
Yeah,
Is I think like only like 10% of people use them for like well like personal computers and stuff. Not like like a computer assigned to in an office, obviously.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, some offices now will assign the laptop to somebody to take around with them, and they have to give it back when their employment is over, that sort of thing. I think that would make more sense because you would have a little bit more control over what was going on with that laptop, and you don't want private information being given out. If they break into somebody's home computer and stealing all the proprietary stuff out of that, you don't want that happening.
Yeah,
That that would
yeah.
be
Having physical access to something is like kind of a like okay. Being able to like physically access something that you now want to access is a very much a a golden key for like thieves and stuff and like that.
mm, yeah. And with so many ways now to get into a computer, um, you don't want to risk that as much as possible. Get something to at least use a little blocker anyway, and don't click on everything that shows up on your email.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And I'm being honest, I don't think I have ever actually checked my email all that much.
Yeah,
Except that I'm like verifying myself whenever I make a new account on like a new social media or something like that.
yeah, yeah. I forget my passwords all the time, and always if there's a site I only go to like once a month, I'm never going to remember the password, so I have to get a new password every time. And I always have to go back to the email and find it and go back to it. But we did have a situation one time at my first radio station I worked for where we had a strict policy on the computers because we had computers in every studio that you couldn't go to certain sites. Obviously, you wouldn't go to adult sites, and we ended up firing some people because they did, which I still can't believe they were that dumb to do that at work. But and think we wouldn't be able to find out, especially in the 90s for crying out loud. But we had a situation where I'm working the board for a news guy, and I'm not even looking at the computer, not doing anything with it. And I look over, and there is the most graphic stuff that anybody could possibly put on the internet showing up on the computer over and over again.
I feel okay. In my freshman, I had like something similar. Well, I didn't experience it personally, but like in the freshman year of my high school, or my 3D animation teacher brought up a story of like a student bringing a flash drive into class to look at that type of stuff on the computer
Oh
during
yeah,
class for some
yeah.
reason.
Oh man, just just don't even do it. We ended up. I mean, I'm just dying because I'm thinking that the person who's doing the news is trying not to laugh watching this and do the newscast, and I'm like, no, this isn't me. I'm not doing this. I brought the supervisor in, and he saw that I wasn't doing it. We found out that somebody had gone to a lyrics website and picked up a bug, uh, uh, adware type bug,
Ah,
and it just happened to go off while I was sitting there at the computer.
god
For
damn.
all this horrible stuff that was coming up, I'm like, no, no, not me, boss. I'm not doing it. And yeah, somebody got fired for it. And thankfully, it wasn't me at that point.
I mean, well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it all comes down to to safety. Do you feel that the way you've got things set up right now with your avatar and with
Uh,
keeping things close to the vest that you feel pretty safe going on the net with it?
pretty much. I
Yeah.
haven't. I'm pretty sure literally nobody outside like my very close friends know my actual like name and face.
Hmm. Yeah, and it
Well, more than
should that
face,
ever,
at least.
I mean, if that ever came out, if somebody really pushed it, would that be really hard for you to keep going if that happened?
Uh, I'm gonna be honest, not 100%. Not really, to be honest, unless like my actual access gets leaked. But
Yeah,
besides that, I think I'll be fine mostly.
yeah. Just make sure and keep it because right now everybody's got to remember that whatever you go by on the internet is your brand, whether it's your own name or whether it's a name that you come up with, and you don't want somebody else driving that through the mud, getting control of your accounts. And I know of a few VTubers who have lost their accounts because they didn't have enough protection on their things, and other people got a hold of their stuff and really ran them into the ground.
Like, didn't like something like that happen with like Clone like a few months ago or something like that, where like where his like account got hacked to like
Yeah,
promote like crypto schemes?
yeah, yeah. It was really it was there. That'll happen very easily. So I hope everybody just remembers to be vigilant with it and keep everything up to date. Have you got some big plans going for your channel coming up in the next few months?
Hopefully I'll start doing longer streams, more of like 2 hour streams rather than 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Hmm.
It's hopefully.
Yeah, what is your schedule right now as far as streaming?
I try to stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Mm. So, folks, we're going to have the links in the description for the video. If you want to check out and see what they're doing and what's going on with them, I really wish you would and check out and see what this fantastic person's got going for him. Thank you so much for coming on and being with me on this program.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. And keep in touch.
You're welcome.
We'll check up with you again later on this year. How about that?
That sounds great. Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.